Good evening, it's Valerie Holdren. It's late. It's probably going on 11 Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. Having some trouble sleeping tonight. I was sleepy earlier, but I got a second wind, and I've had this soap on my mind all day, and I thought, well, I may as well go get it done. It's actually, I started thinking about it a year or so ago, and I put it on the back burner, and I was cleaning out one of my cabinets today, and I found some beeswax that I had purchased. I mean, not beeswax, bee pollen. And I thought, I never did make that soap. So I'm on this kick of trying formulating recipes with no coconut oil, and I decided to try one today. So I formulated this, and it looks like a really nice formula. I guess we'll see. But it's 14% apricot kernel, 10% castor, 10% mango, 18% olive oil, 15% palm kernel, and 30% beef tallow. And I'm superfatting with oat oil and argan, extra 2%. Well, no, let's say, yes, an extra 2% after the cook. 5% is figured into the formula. I watched a video today, and Soap Making 101, she dissolved her bee pollen rather than adding it whole, and I like the idea of that better because I want the color. So I'm going to be using that for my color, and they say bee pollen is really good for soap. I hope so. And then my molasses will be a contrasting color, and then the natural color of the batter. I want to try to design it the way Valerie Mosher did her. I thought it reminded me of a feather. Some people thought feather, some people thought, I'm not sure, flower maybe. But anyway, I had done a feather design a long time ago. Didn't stick because it was all natural coloring. But I'm going to try it again today with this. And I was going to put it in my little bee molds until I saw that design, and she did a video of it today, and I thought, I want to try that. So that's the plan. My oils right now are at about 120. I'm waiting for the beeswax to melt a little more. Probably going to start soaping at around 150. I have all of my ingredients, additives weighed out on the stove. Going to be adding oat milk a little during the cook. I'll add it while I'm bringing it to trace. As usual, my yogurt. I'm going to be adding, like I said, superfat of argan and oat. I have colloidal oatmeal and kale and clay in here. Going to be adding 4 tablespoons of honey because I want this to be a really good bee theme. And I'm going to name it Honeybee. I used 2 teaspoons of bee pollen and dissolved it in about a tablespoon of water. Let's see, what else am I adding? I have mulberry silk in my lye solution, which is just water today. And I don't know if I'm going to scent or not. I'm going to wait and see how the batter smells before I make that decision. So I will see when it's time to start putting all of this together. Okay, my oils are at about 165. My lye solution is at 179. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I wasn't really wanting to soap this hot tonight, but I am getting tired now, wouldn't you know? I also think that when I was reading off my oil list to you, I forgot to mention that I figured 3% of beeswax into this recipe. When I first started making soap, my friend who taught me how to do cold process, the person who taught her told her to add about a tablespoon of beeswax into her every batch. So I did that for a while, and then I got away from it. But today when I decided to go ahead with this bee theme, I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and figure it into my recipe. And I've read that anywhere from 1 to 3% is good. So I went with 3. And it's getting thick on me. So let's go ahead and start. $163. I'm going to go to a medium to thick trace. That's pretty. I think I'm going to stop right here. I hope this turns out really well. It's been a long time since I've used beeswax, and I've never used bee pollen. Clean that off real good. I just love this stage. So creamy. About 166. So I think it'll take a few minutes for it to start doing anything. I don't want to leave you here in silence. So I'll see you in a few minutes. It's been about 5 minutes, and it's starting to rise up. So I'm going to get ready and stir it down once I see. This is a 30-ounce batch. I'm going to go ahead and stir it down, and I did this at 35% water. I've been doing some of that lately just to see if I can. My rice flour shea turned out really nice, and it was done at 35% water. Yeah, and I think this is not going to take long. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the cooking unit because it's, I hope it doesn't go green on me today like it has been doing. I just can't figure it out unless it just gets too hot. That looks like pretty much all Vaseline to me. Maybe just a little bit of mashed potato. I love that white color. My hot water here. I heated it in the microwave. And spritz this down on the top to keep it from getting crusty. Going to take a little bit out for the zap test. Another little trick learned from Valerie Mosher, watching her videos. It's so nice when people share so freely. Okay. Oh, still good, not going green, but we're all Vaseline, and that's really weird. Once that volcanoed, it was pretty much done. I'll take it. And I'm a fanatic about my sides, keeping them moist so that they don't get all crusty and have little pieces in my batter. And if this tests neutral, and I think it will, I will add my lye solution, my Superfat, and I'm going to go over and get that. And we'll see you soon. Alright, we are good to go. So in goes my argan and oat oil. Both of those are really nice for the skin. Next I'm going to add my yogurt, and that's 2 heaping tablespoons. Let's usually do 1 tablespoon per pound of oil, and this is almost 2 pounds, so I use 2 heaping tablespoons. And as I always say, or try to remember to say, get that stirred in really well so that you don't have cooked pieces throughout your soap. Aesthetically, that can make it look pretty ugly. Same thing with my milk. This is the rest of my oat milk that I held back. It's about 1.5 ounces, and I'm going to add it slowly. Get it mixed in really well. Let's see what my temperature is. 185. And I want to get this down to at least 170 before I add my honey, which is 4 tablespoons, mixed in with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 2 teaspoons of sodium lactate. Don't know how fluid this batter's going to be because I've never done it before. Never done this formula, so we'll see. $172. Okay, so while that sits a little more and cools off, I'm going to go get my mold and empty out my cups. So that we can start trying to pour this. Okay, we are back and it's at about 170. I got my heated cups and I'm going to add my honey mixed with my apple cider vinegar and my sodium lactate. Wow, that's nice. I just love the sweet smell of soap. I think I'm going to leave this unscented as well. Okay, I'll pour off a little bit of the natural. To have for both sides of the mold. I can go ahead and take these off because we're neutral. Then in here, a heated cup, I have my bee pollen. And then in this one, I have my molasses. And I love the brown color that that gives. I know I'm going to need to work fast. mixed up. And that's about 1 tablespoon of molasses. Like I said, that's about 2 teaspoons of dissolved bee pollen. Pretty yellow. And then the natural. See if I can get this done like Valerie did. It's such a pretty design. And I'll put my white on both sides. This is probably too flimsy, but I'm going to try it. I don't think it's going to work too well now. Bee pollen doesn't smell so hot. Molasses does. Should have used cardboard instead of folder paper. Oh well. Cardstock, I mean. It is getting thick, so I gotta move on. think I'm going to take my chopstick. I think she did. Just like that. We'll see. My top's pretty thick, but might can smooth that out. Okay. I will probably bring you back in the morning for the cut. We'll see what happens. Good night. Hey, good morning. It's Valerie. Just wanted to show you the lather test on this bee soap that I made late last night. Was able to cut it this morning. It was done at 35% water rather than 38. And I'm just thrilled with the lather, the bubbles, the creaminess. I like a creamy soap, but I like to keep my creamy number around 36. I like bubbles with creamy. But look at that. It is so luxurious. It just feels like a dream. I didn't bring you back for the cut because I'm kind of in a hurry this morning. But I do have pictures. I'm happy with the design, although I think I cut it wrong. I think I got a couple of pieces right, but all in all, I'm happy with the design. I've just got to remember to cut different. And the more I work with this lather, the better it feels. So anyway, I hope you have a great Sunday, and see you soon.